Kylie Jenner is being sued by two housekeepers. Not one, two separate lawsuits. One of them alleges supervisors abused her on company property for years. I pulled the court documents, and what they describe changes how you see her entire operation. Here's what we're uncovering today. A former staffer named Juana Delgado Soto filed a lawsuit alleging she faced systematic mistreatment at Kylie's Beverly Hills and Hidden Hills estates. But the lawsuit doesn't just name Kylie, it names specific supervisors and describes conditions most people don't know about. The documents reference written complaints that supervisors allegedly ignored. So here's the question nobody's asking yet. If this happened to one housekeeper, how many others experience the same thing? And more importantly, what did Kylie's team know? And when did they know it? Let's start with who Juana Delgado Soto actually is. She worked as a housekeeper for Kylie's operation in California. Not a one-time gig. She was employed for an extended period across multiple properties. The lawsuit claims supervisors on those properties created what the documents call a hostile work environment. We're talking about her homes in Beverly Hills and Hidden Hills, two of the most expensive residential areas in Los Angeles. These aren't small spaces. These are massive estates with full-time staff. Kylie's known for posting her homes on Instagram constantly. But what happens behind those closed doors is a different story entirely. The lawsuit specifically names supervisors, not just general allegations. Real people with real positions of authority. Soto claims these supervisors made her job impossible. Allegedly, she reported issues multiple times in writing. The complaint describes her raising concerns directly. But here's where it gets darker. The documents suggest those complaints went nowhere. Nobody addressed them. Nobody fixed the situation. So Soto made a choice. She stepped back from the job, and then she decided to step forward legally. That's when things got really specific. But here's what most celebrity coverage is missing completely. This isn't Kylie being accused of doing something herself. This is Kylie's operation, meaning her staff, her supervisors, her management team, allegedly allowing this to happen on her properties. That's a different legal problem entirely. The lawsuit puts the responsibility on the structure. Not one person's bad behavior, the system that permitted it. Let's break down what the actual allegations claim. Soto's lawsuit states supervisors created a work environment that violated labor standards. The documents don't say she was physically harmed, but they describe conditions that made her job untenable. Allegedly, supervisors ignored her written complaints about treatment. She followed protocol. She reported through proper channels, and nothing changed. That detail matters legally. It suggests a pattern, not a one-time incident. A pattern. Twitter exploded when this lawsuit went public. Most takes focused on Kylie's brand. Others questioned how much she actually knew. The reality is more complicated than either take. Kylie doesn't manage housekeeping directly. That's not how celebrity operations work. Managers manage managers. Kylie's team hires supervisors. Those supervisors oversee day-to-day staff. So the lawsuit hits the middle layer, the supervisors. But here's the legal trap. If supervisors created this environment, who hired them? Who trained them? Who failed to address written complaints? That chain leads up. And that's exactly what her legal team will have to defend against. The documents reference specific dates when Soto allegedly reported issues. January through March of a particular year. Multiple instances, each one documented, each one allegedly ignored. That paper trail is critical. It's the difference between a bad manager and a systemic failure. Here's what people aren't discussing. Kylie's not the only Kardashian facing staff allegations lately. That pattern matters. It suggests something about how celebrity households operate in that circle. Not criminal, but structural. The kind of structural problems that happen when one person has absolute control and supervisors know it. The court documents filed show Soto submitted formal written complaints to supervisors on multiple dates. Those complaints are referenced in the lawsuit filing itself, meaning her legal team has copies. The supervisor's response, according to the documents, minimal. The lawsuit references company records that would show what those supervisors actually did after receiving complaints. Discovery will force both sides to produce emails, text messages, and internal communications from that period. Kylie's team has already reportedly hired high-powered legal representation, not the move someone makes if they think this will disappear quietly. The other housekeeper lawsuit that predates this one adds weight to Soto's allegations. 2 separate claims from different staff members, 2 different time periods, 2 different supervisors involved. That's not coincidence. That's evidence of a pattern. Here's my take. This lawsuit reveals negligence in Kylie's operation, not personal cruelty from Kylie herself. That distinction matters legally and morally. But it doesn't actually help her case, because negligence is still actionable. 3 facts prove this. First, Soto documented her complaints in writing, meaning her legal team has a paper trail. Second, the supervisors allegedly ignored those complaints rather than escalating them or fixing the problem. That's the critical failure. Third, a second housekeeper lawsuit already exists in Kylie's background. One lawsuit could be an isolated incident. 2 separate lawsuits suggest a pattern. Her legal team will argue that supervisors acted independently and violated company policy. But the lawsuit will argue that the policy itself was insufficient, or that enforcement was intentionally lax. That's a much harder case to win. You should believe this differently now. Celebrity wealth insulates people from consequences, but it doesn't insulate them from discovery. These lawsuits will force Kylie's team to produce internal communications they probably hoped nobody would see. That's where real accountability exists, not in the lawsuit itself, but in what the lawsuit forces to the surface. This story matters because Kylie's defense will reveal how elite celebrity households act